Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today, we're going to be talking about Vinco Ventures, going with the ticker BBIG once more. So Vinco Ventures leverages the new market opportunities by utilizing their BIG strategy. So buy, innovate, and grow. Now, there was some recent updates relating towards their Cryptotide acquisition, and if you haven't heard about Cryptotide before, they're more of a blockchain technology. So here, ride the tide. So upon the successful dividend spinoff, the newly formed publicly traded company will operate under Cryptide Incorporation and a trade under the symbol TYDE. And blockchain plus disruption. So Cryptide is a selective acquisition company focusing on leveraging blockchain technologies to disrupt consumer-facing industries. He also got the ENFT.com. So the ENFT marketplace is designed to decentralize traditional distribution models by empowering the content creators with the unique tokenization platform. If you do remember, Tory Lanez ended up releasing an entire album exclusive through their website, and it was the first to reach platinum. Now, going platinum, ENFT.com initial launch was well received, with the first uploaded album selling 1 million copies, making When It's Dark to the first album in history to reach platinum on blockchain. You got key follow-ups as well. So this was actually talking back on the record date in October and how it's basically going to be taken off as a record date for TYDE spinoff dividend and everything that between. But what happened was that it got delayed. They released it. You would think if you watched my previous video, you'll understand exactly what happened, but they released a PR mentioning it is delayed. So here you're able to see on November 1st, 2021, it says Vinco Ventures spinoff subsidiary Cryptide announces the launch of joint venture entity focused on Bitcoin mining ecosystem. So the launch of this joint venture entity signifies the start of our expansion into the broader crypto and blockchain markets, said the Cryptide CEO Brian McFadden. We're excited to be working with industry veterans such as Watam management team and look forward for the introduction of NFTs and smart contracts into the Bitcoin mining space. So here, CW Machines LLC launched operations with an initial order of around 2,000 Bitmain anti-miners S19 paired with the US-based power allocation. Operations will include the sale of turnkey mining solutions with a focus on simplicity and affordability. Traditionally, an industry that can be very difficult and costly to enter, Bitcoin mining is often intimidating to the average consumer. CW Machines will simplify the process and aims to provide an entry cost point that a majority of the US consumers can't afford. Now, there's still no exact update relating towards the Cryptide new record date or when it's going to come out. That is not yet decided. Now, in terms of Vinco Ventures institutional buyers, we're able to see that Advisors Group liquidated on the 5th, around 52% of their shares. Advisory Services Network liquidated their entire position. Also on the 5th, IMC Chicago LLC added around 56,000 shares. You're able to see on 4th as well, Nova Capital Management liquidated 46% of their position. Victory Capital Management on the 2nd added around 13,000. So you're able to see back and forth, Cambridge Investments Research Advisors added around 115.6 thousand shares. So all in all, you're able to see more of a bullish or acquiring kind of momentum, but it's almost neck to neck. Now, in terms of insiders, there's nothing to talk about here. Everything seems to be up to normal. But before moving on forward, if you'd like to see more contents like this, make sure to click the subscribe button and leave notifications on for this channel. Also, don't forget to drop a like to this video, and you can join our Discord in the description below. Now, in terms of a short interest, you're able to see that short shares availability are currently 30,000 shares at a short borrow fee rate of around 48.61%. So it's not the highest, but around 1/3 of all traded volume is going towards the short volume side. And it shows the short interest as a percentage of the float is 49.48, still quite high. So that's something to really consider. It is in fact quite high, and it's considered a little bit susceptible to short squeezes per se. Let's move on towards technical analysis. Now, from a technical analysis, what we're seeing here is things really broke down on the 27th of October. The price point is currently below the 50 SMA at the 677, 30 MA is above the 10 SMA, and the only bullish thing about this is that the price is above the 200 SMA at the 411, but it's very critical and it might even drop below there, or I mean the 200 SMA might climb above the stock price. ADX doesn't show much of a direction of strength. It really is showing more of a sloppy action. The million percent R, which is very similar to the relative strength index, is very, very close to the oversold. You might see it oversold on the RSI, and it really suggests there's a lot more supply, a lot more people want to sell than buy. MACD, what you're seeing here is that it's actually going on towards a negative side. It is attempting a positive reversal, even though it's very subtle, but it's more of an accumulation, and you might see a positive reversal next week. Momentum is climbing back up from around negative 3.31 to around negative 1.76. If it continues on with the same momentum for the next 2 days, we might actually confirm a bullish reversal. Now, on the other parts that we're looking at is stochastic fast and stochastic slow. Both are kind of bottomed out, suggesting this might be a time to buy, but we need to first take a look into supports and resistances to understand better the risks involved. Now, on the moving average bands, we're seeing that this one is expected to trade between 648 on the top and 530 in the bottom. The stock price is currently beneath that. Now, on the Bollinger Bands, it's between 848 and 330. It's closer to the bottom than at the top, so you might expect a bit of a push as we've seen before. Volumes as well have dropped a bit. Fibonacci retracements, we're able to see some significant supports and resistances. The support here is 380, resistances 546, 680, 814, around 1035, or my bad, 1005 and 1249. Price line action supports and resistances, we're able to see a critical support level down to the 446, below there 415, below there 367, going to 325, 280, down to 224 and 195. Resistances, there's a few. 468 is a critical resistance. 502, 533, going to 604, 667, going up to 744, upwards to 838, and then 913, and then 961. Comes to the question, Ed, what do you think is going to happen here? Well, this has really been dropping quite a bit. Now, you could say that this is a more of an inverse cup with somewhat of a handle, which is a bearish trend. Could be also more of a little bit of an up cup or just a normal cup with a handle maybe. Could be, but it's really difficult to pinpoint the exact trend because there's a few in there depending on the scope you're looking for. But if it's anything, I think this is a critical support here that it definitely should not break down around the 447 to around the 412. If it does break below the 412, it's really in trouble, and I think that the momentum can largely be considered almost over. As you get to see, volumes have dropped significantly from what we've seen before, and this is really losing its momentum, and the company needs to really consider how they can release more PRs in order to release the stock price. But if you're doing long term, I think this is short term momentum is done a little, but we've seen this before where you've seen this kind of thing where the momentum looks done, accumulates for a little bit more traction, and then drops down and then skyrockets. So we might be getting similar action to what we've seen before. Definitely people who bought before around the 945, this massive candle, might have thought they're screwed, and then this might have been able to sell at a profit around 1249. So there's still hope. What do you think is going to happen here? Make sure to down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps. We just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.